This episode of the Offroad Podcast is sponsored by Warren, Power Tank, and Medical Gear Outfitters.
Off-Road Podcast, episode 332, Christmas Gift Exchange.
Tonight, Aaron shops for some tires, Jeremy glues some cookies together, and Ben gets ready for camping.
Welcome to the Off-Road Podcast, a podcast about everything off-road. We cover the news, review products, and interview people in the off-road industry. I'm your host, Ben, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Aaron and Jeremy, and welcome to the show.
The weekend review is brought to you by Medical Gear Outfitters. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting to have a casualty on the trail? Check out medicalgearoutfitters.com to get straightened out. Medical Gear Outfitters has everything you need, whether you're going out for the day or traveling on a year-long expedition. Head over there to get off-road specific kits that meet all of your needs. And while you're there, make sure you use Off-Road Podcast for 10% off. Well, Aaron, what have you been up to?
Me pointing my fingers at somebody else meant don't call on me first.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't actually watching the stream.
Oh my goodness, terrible. You're fired.
That's all right. That's okay. So,
I need a TV to have as a monitor so I can keep the stream up.
Yep, that's what I have to do.
So, had a movie night with my BFF Coy. Had him over a couple nights ago. We're super BFFs, by the way. Super BFFs.
Oh man, you too.
I'm hoping I finally get to meet
in the comments.
I'm hoping to finally meet Coy on that snow camping trip coming up in February.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope I can make it. I still can't seem to acquire what I need to get my rig there. So, yeah, so I had a movie night. We watched the Jungle Cruise, which is
Dad
Disney
jokes
movie
intro.
full of dad jokes, and it's got The Rock in it. It was corny, but it was good. I enjoyed it. It's a great movie. So had fun, but while he was here, we made a run to the store to pick up some pizza, and I let him drive the V8 powered Nissan Frontier.
I like how you
And he
have a
went-
special
and
voice
he
for
said,
that.
The crowd goes wild.
Wild, huh?
Yeah, wild.
So did you blow up your rear end?
No. He was actually pretty ginger with it on the way to the store because he's kind of getting a feel for it. And then I forgot to turn the traction control off early enough for him, and he tried to make it go sideways around the corner, and traction control just kicked in and said, not having it.
Beep,
And
beep,
then
beep. You're going straight.
There was no other good places for him to get wild with it until the little last bit before my house in the gravel. So I think he was surprised with the torque. It really does have a good get up and go out of it. The top end isn't really there. I mean, it's faster for passing cars on the freeway, but it's got some really good low end torque. It doesn't have a lot of high end grunt. So but it was fun. It was fun letting him drive it. Exactly. Yeah. I don't need high end passing for a wheeler. So yeah. And I'm going to get even more low end grunt when I gear up eventually. So, or am I gearing down? I can never remember.
It's up. Taller gear.
Yes. To get
like
lower. Your taller gears to go lower.
Now
I
I'm
don't know.
confused.
I
I
don't even know what I'm
confuse
talking-
myself
Me too.
now.
Yep.
Are they taller gears? It's a higher number, but they're lower
Yeah.
gears.
There's
It's
more
lower
teeth. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a higher number with lower gears. So anyways, so it was fun letting him do that. And then I'm reaching out to some tire folks, trying to pick out a tire that I'm going to run temporarily as my 35s before I can jump to the 37s. Because I can't make 37s happen fast enough for the snow trip we got coming up in February. And I reached out, and they suggested a different tire than what I'd planned on. And I looked at it and I was like, actually, I like that tire better. Because it's got the three-peak snowflake rating on it, and and stuff like that. So I was interested. So I picked the tire size, and they got back to me, and they're like, actually, we're not making that tire yet in that
So
size.
I have a customer. You've discussed this tire with me. I'll save the nitty gritty details on that for later. But I've seen those tires in person, and they are decently aggressive. Like you were worried about them not looking aggressive enough, but they look
Yeah.
pretty decently aggressive to where I think in the snow they'll be nice. In that like all terrain hybrid range that they are. They're
Okay.
a nice tire.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but you
and
said
they've
you can't
got yeah, exactly. Well, that just means I need to choose a different size. So I was picking, like I told you guys, I was planning to do 35s because I can. Why not? As my next step. And I was looking at a 35 in the mud terrain version. I was looking at the 35 1250s. And in the hybrid version, they had a 35 1250 also, but they also had a 34 11 basically.
Is it the I can't think
It's a
of it.
metric size.
Yeah, they're
So
metric.
they're Scott's asking here in the comments what tires are they? They're the Patagonia XTs, which is a step under the MTs, but a step over the ATs.
Yeah,
So
they're a hybrid terrain Patagonia with the what is it? They're okay, I see which ones they have and don't have. Wow. Yeah, you are. So could you go with the 35 12 and a half 17s?
I could, but I was like, you know how much I love skinny tires, and I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
I'll try these, and also the 35 1250s in the mud terrain were only 0.1 inch taller than the 34 11s in the hybrids.
Oh,
So
interesting.
according to a tire calculator, because they were both metric sizes,
Mm-hmm.
and the tire calculator said it was 0.1 inches taller. So I'm like, well, because the 34 is actually like a 34.4, I believe. So
Yeah.
um, yeah.
Yeah, they
Um, Scott, when you're asking about a more traditional brand like BFGs or Nitto, um, I am a big BFG fan. I wanted to just try something different. Both Jeremy and Ben are running the MTs, and I thought I would try them also. Um, when I go to 37s, I'll probably jump back to the BFG KM3s. I love those tires a lot. So
I wish these XTs had been out when I got mine because they have the 285 70 17.
yep.
Oh well.
So it is. I mean, it is what it is. So I just gotta do a little more searching and stuff like that, and we'll figure out what we do. So that's where I'm at. And then of course I got to get wheels to put them on. My brother-in-law actually, so he's got a 5th gen 4Runner, and he's trying to sell his. Scott says, "All hail the skinny 37." Scott, if you know of a skinny 37, let me know. I've never found them narrower than a 12 and a half, unless you go to like a bogger style. I think you can get them skinnier if they're boggers. I'm not a bogger fan, so let me know if you know of a skinny 37. I'd love to run them. And Michael says Yokohama. Yokohama makes a good tire. I'm just kind of a Goodyear fanboy.
Fanboy.
Anyway, my brother-in-law has a 5th gen 4Runner, and he has some brand new takeoff wheels that are literally brand new. He had new wheels put on like a week after he got the rig, and he can't even sell them for $100. So I might see if I can borrow those if I can't get up to borrow Ben's, or even just buy them from him, and then I'll turn around and try to sell them for $100 to somebody. But if they're basically the same offset and everything as yours, Ben, I could use those. Oh, hey, he's in the comments. Yeah. Um, so anyways, yeah, I need some wheels to get me by temporarily until the Epic wheels show up from Warren that I ordered, and which will be sometime in February. I got to get on the snow trip. I can't not go, and I can't just ride along with somebody. I need my rig to go. So
Yeah, my head guess it's not done. I'm still going.
sounds
Full
good.
send.
I mean,
Your Forerunner?
it'll be cool.
In the Forerunner, full send. Oh, white smoke. Oh no. Sorry, guys. Tow me out.
Yeah, Michael's in the comments. He says February. Yeah, I know. I just it's hard to get things together unless you're asking February because you want to come out and wheel your Nissan with my Nissan, and we can be Nissan bros. So let me know. Hit me up.
That's too much Nissan for one trip.
You never see more than one on a trip usually. It's
Yep.
pretty rare.
Yeah.
So Ben, what have you been up to?
Not much. So my scouts, we're getting ready to go camping in 2 weeks. Some of these boys, it's their first camping trip, and this is like winter-ish camping. It's camping in the winter, but we're camping in the lowlands at one of our members' farms. So I made the boys all pack list because I do not want to hear crying because my hands are cold or whatever. I'm making them pack proper gear, and like my wife's like, "Aren't you being a little over excessive on their gear?" I'm like, "No, I want these kids to have a fun time, and that means having the proper gear with them." Because I'm trying to teach these boys how to go camping properly. So I've been full on prepping for that. Outside of that, just playing with my 3D printer and making Christmas ornaments because I figured out how to do that. Aaron, you've seen some of them.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
They are pretty
Jeremy, I designed one for you guys. That
Spoiler alert.
spoiler alert. Well, I don't care. No, you guys probably figured they were coming anyways. But I did like a whole topo design with the Off-Road Podcast logo, and
nice.
And then to top it off, it's got your rig on the ornament too. I was gonna do your faces, but I stare at those enough online.
I don't know what that means, but
Well, just seeing you guys once a week is enough for me. Yeah. So yeah,
I thought you were saying you just stare at our faces when we're not talking to you online.
Oh yeah,
stalk us and.
Yep, gotta have fun online. Be a stalker. Not really. So yeah, it's just been trying to get all this stuff hammered down and done. The holidays just happened, so I spent some time with my family. Thanksgiving was a little crazy. Made some people cry. So yeah. What about you, Jeremy?
Made some people cry.
Well, so I gave out. So like I said, making Christmas ornaments. I made.
In a good way.
Yes, happy tears.
Okay.
I made Christmas ornaments for my sisters and my mom and my niece with pictures of them with my dad.
Got it.
And with my dad passing away back in August. So they all cried because they're like, "This is beautiful." And I'm like, "Okay, I love you all too. I'm gonna walk away now." So yeah.
Got it.
What about you, Jeremy? What's new, buddy?
Well, I didn't really. I built a Jeep this weekend. And by built a Jeep, I mean I made a gingerbread Jeep. So
fastest Jeep build ever.
Yeah, it was a pretty fast Jeep build. So, some of the highlights is it's got some donut tires. And by that I mean they're chocolate covered donuts. On the front of this thing, we have a realistic worn winch.
Super realistic, and you've got at least one row of wraps on it before you started winching, so that's good. You didn't let too much line out.
Yeah, I didn't let too much line out. Yeah, you gotta know the basics for four wheeling. It's climbing up an obstacle that's made out of Rice Krispie treats and covered in chocolate with some cinnamon on top to give it that realistic rock appearance. And you wouldn't want to go off-roading without, first off, a way to air up. So it's got a power tank on the back on the roll bar. And you definitely wouldn't want anything bad to happen while you're out wheeling. So it's got a Medical Gear Outfitters Overlander kit on that back of the roll bar as well.
Nice.
There you go.
Scott wants to know, what are you winching to?
A chair.
Okay. All right.
I love the power tank hose that she got there. Is that like some licorice?
No, I think it. So my wife actually made the power tank. Shout out to her. She did a fantastic job with that. It's even got some gauges. Like you can't really see it from this angle, but it even had 2 gauges, just like the real power tank.
That's awesome. I love. No, you can see those barely just at the top there. I just
Just a
love
little
the
bit, yeah.
hose that's attached there. It's like,
I
yep, there's
think
the
it was a
hose.
dot. I think
Oh,
she turned a dot into the hose.
twisted up a dot.
Yeah, rolled it out and then twisted it up. So
Yeah,
yeah, that was kind of fun. I think this is the most interested in. I'm not usually one that's. I'm not usually interested in like carving pumpkins or anything like that, or making gingerbread houses. But this one, I was definitely interested in. It was definitely the one I was most interested in. So it was fun.
Well, the cool thing is like, you built some memories together, and it was something you're both interested in, and that's going on the Facebook group. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we need to tag our sponsors in it too.
Oh, totally. I
Yep.
made it out of a little bit too soft of gingerbread, so I was making it out of softer gingerbread so I could kind of carve it up and make it right. And so it's right now it's no longer on its axles. It's like riding on the ground. Oh, and you can even see, I don't know if you can see it in this photo, but I even used I even made a little differential under there. You can kind of see it right under the winch line.
oh yeah, there you go.
Out of the winch is made out of a Tootsie Roll and then some licorice for the Warren W. And that's what the differential is, as well as just some Tootsie Roll.
Is that a angry girl on there? It looks like
No,
an
it is
angry
not
girl.
an angry girl. No.
You've got a grumper.
No grumper. That's not a grumper. No way. Yeah, so it's kind of fun.
That's really cool, dude.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, that is definitely cool.
We tried to have the kids help, but then that didn't work out well. So
Have they
All
tried eating it now?
Well, yeah.
my son keeps trying. Yes.
Well, good on him.
Absolutely.
Why let that good food go to waste? Especially
Yeah.
I'm spoken like a true fat
Well,
man.
it's really good gingerbread too.
Is it? I
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
had gingerbread in forever.
Well, and it's funny because I knew it was softer, but and I thought, oh, it'll, as it sat out for a few days, so I like made it on Wednesday. I put it all together, and I'm like, oh, the gingerbread will like dry out and become stale, more stale and more crunchy as it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it got softer over that
Interesting.
5 days or so.
Hmm.
Oh well, it was fun. I got the pictures. It does not look that good anymore as it did in the pictures, but
Is
Well,
it
you got-
sagging a little?
oh, it's totally sagging right now. And the spare tire on the back fell off, and it's definitely seen. And that's only overnight, but it was good. I got the pictures. That's really what I cared about.
And you made it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're looking to reach more listeners. We're going to start reading Apple iTunes reviews on air. If you hear yours, send us a message with your address, and we'll send you an Off-Road Podcast sticker. You can find all of our social media by just searching our name. Now, go hit that subscribe button.
Hey, we've got some listener feedback, guys.
You do.
You want me to read this off?
I'll read it because I've read it several times. I cleaned it up a little bit also to make it a little easier to read. So says first, hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving weekend. Now, I think Coy has a connection to Warren. LOL. I inserted the LOL there. Coy, you mentioned that Warren doesn't offer discounts on their products, but occasionally has package deals, i.e., winch with recovery gear package. Is Warren going to have one of those soon? I want to go with one of their winches. So let's address that right there. So Coy doesn't have a connection with Warren. We have a connection with Warren though. Coy is just a guest host from time to time on our show. Warren is a sponsor of the Off-Road Podcast, and we absolutely love what Warren does and makes. Maybe David, who wrote to us, is mixing up Coy and Andy, because Coy and Andy have been on shows together as well.
Yeah.
So maybe he thinks Coy is Andy or vice versa.
And if I remember correctly, Andy said that other companies will do package deals where they package together the winch with some non-mapped prices. So like small off-road shops like the one I work at.
Yep, exactly. So I'm guessing that's what he's thinking about. They and it says they don't offer discounts. They do. You can get things discounted, but it has to be the right time of the year. It's not that things never go on sale for Warren. The conversation was specifically about manufacturer advertised pricing. Is that what MAP
Yep.
is, right?
Yep.
So that's what that was about. You can't go under a certain dollar amount, otherwise you get in trouble by the manufacturer and you get put on their no sell list. So that's what that was about. So, and he goes on to say, now for advice. Thanks for answering my what do I need to overland question a couple of podcasts ago. So he wrote in while we were talking about
Yep. I remember talking to him.
the pores.
Yep.
He says, I purchased a 08 JK Unlimited for $1,500. We thought that was a typo, but it turns out it wasn't a typo.
That's an amazing price to buy a JK.
It really, really, really is. He said, I'm in the beginnings of to start the repairs and upgrades. You need to write back to us, David, or send us some pictures, because I'm curious to know what a $1,500 unlimited JK looks like. So,
yep, what's missing?
Exactly. Was it a
repair.
2-door?
So,
Was it a 2-door? But it was only 2 doors for $1,500.
Yeah. Does it need a new engine? Did you already do the engine?
Yeah. Did it used to belong to Ben?
I'd make it $1,500, especially in today's day and age. Like,
Yeah,
that's a screaming deal.
Yep.
I don't know if you could ever really buy a JK for $1,500 that didn't need thousands of dollars of work. So
It
who
could have
knows?
been a buddy price too, though.
Yep, it could have been
That's
budget
true.
price. And
Yep.
then it could be like the repairs are like it needs new bumpers, and so it got totaled out on bumpers and fenders and a grill. All those things are easily replaced.
Or it needs an
Maybe
engine
he-
and he's gonna Hemi swap it or LS swap it.
Yep. Maybe he bought it from I doubt he bought it from an auction for that price, but maybe he knows somebody who wrecked their JK and they bought it back from the insurance company and sold it to him at the buyback price. So
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is ways to get inexpensive rigs, but $1,500 for a JK is dirt cheap. So it says that he's beginning to start the repairs and upgrade. Winch and bumper are one of the first purchases. He's asking, do I need around a 10,000 pound winch or not? So
10,000. I'd say between a 10 and 12,000 pound winch for a JK Unlimited. It's kind of a trade-off on those. For 12,000 pound winch, it's a little bit heavier. A 10,000 pound winch is going to be lighter. Think about how much you're going to be loading into the vehicle. Are you upgrading to larger axles and tires? Are you going to 40s? If you're going to stick to like that 30s, go stick into like 35s or thereabouts, you could probably stick with the 10,000 pound winch. As long as you're not going to be going super overloading your vehicle with that, I think 10,000 would be just straight. Yeah, minimum 10,000. Just kind
well,
of.
they say 1.5 to 2 times the gross weight of your vehicle. So if your JK weighed 5,000 pounds, 2 times 5,000 is 10,000.
So
or 1.5 would be 7,500 pounds. So
depending upon your model, it's
6,000 pounds.
42 to 5,000 pounds.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the JLs.
Yep.
Yeah, and once you add all the bumpers and skid plates and heavy tires and overlanding equipment, all that stuff, obviously it's going to make it weigh a bunch more. I really do feel that a 10K winch is going to be plenty for you, especially if you invest in a snatch block to double your pulling power. So
And some extensions.
Yep, absolutely. So so I suggest a 10. I don't think you need to go to a 12. The extra cost and weight of a 12, I don't think are necessary. So
Yeah, so on my JK, I have the 10, and even with new axles and all the armor and 40s, it still does fine. Just
Scott
buy something
says,
quality.
what about pulling out your friends?
And I think there he's
With my
referring to your friend's LMTV.
well, before we were going to talk about the LMTV, I was going to say with my friends, I just drag them through ditches with Bubba ropes.
No, that's what I do.
That's what Jeremy
Well, that's what we, yeah, that's what we do. But yeah, so I had a 18,000 pound army truck that got stuck in my field, and I winched it out with my Nissan Frontier, and it was so far away that I couldn't use a snatch block, so I just winched with a 10,000 pound winch, and was able to pull it out of the field with a Warren 10,000. So
I was going to say check the Warren ad for that later, but I think that was another time you got your LMTV.
that was another time, and that time I actually was running a snatch block to double it back because that one was really stuck. So, and apparently Scott's got a photo of him pulling out a fire truck out of some sand with a Xeon 12S. So yeah, these Warren winches get it done.
Yeah, and I mean having the proper equipment and accessories to kind of help ease it along will make things better. Winch line extension, snatch block, or snatch blocks.
Yep.
Because I mean, tripling up that power is always a good thing.
And then he goes on to say that he's in Louisiana, but he does plan on doing some hilly areas in the future. You can use winches on flat ground. My LMTV was clearly stuck on a flat field, so you don't need hilly areas to use the winch. He goes on to say, thanks for the podcast and all the fun you have. Also, if a ride along pops up again, I don't know what I'm doing wheeling, but wouldn't mind being the brunt of your advice. So I'm assuming he's talking about like a listener ride. So yeah, hit us up, reach out. We can talk.
Definitely.
Yep.
We also want to thank our sponsor, Patriot Patch. Head over to patriotpatch.co and check out their selection of great patches, shirts, cleaning mats, signs, and stickers. You can also join the Patch of the Month Club for $15 and receive a patch, matching sticker, and artist proof each month.
I love our private chat here. So, Patriot Patch. Oh, that's me. I'm up. Here we go. Pictures, patches. Let's go here. So, first one I'm going to show off. A little hard to see because it's all black, but it is a We the People all black patch. I think I'm going to, Subdued. I think I'm going to give that one to one of our local cops here. I think it would be appropriate. This one I'm not going to give it to anybody. It is so all these patches also have a wonderful theme that all comes together. So this one is In Case of Tyranny. Break glass. I've heard it both ways. You've got the Flugaloo patch. So this one came out really early this year. You got your toilet paper and your gas mask and stuff like that. I think this is what you really need to go out to try to do toilet paper shopping during apocalypse. So some suppressed weapons. And then the last one, no one is coming to save you. So I really hope we never see this on our television screens, but sometimes I feel like it's coming. So
yeah,
stock up on that toilet paper just in case.
Is that like pandemic currency or something?
Yeah.
The news is brought to you by Power Tank, the ultimate mobile onboard air system for performance, versatility, and reliability. They are your source for all air-related accessories. Check them out at powertank.com.
Sorry, I was rocking out there.
It's actually working this time.
Good.
What's working?
There we go. Ben's small screen. Hit Control Plus like 6 times in a row. There you go. Zoom it. Yeah. So I'm sure some people have heard about this. It's a Australian family that are stuck in the bush, mate.
Crikey.
Crikey. Yeah. And with that, we lost both of our Australian listeners.
I was going to say that
So
last episode was the bad accent episode.
Yeah.
that
and
was the bad Russian accent.
I offended any of our Russian listeners. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So family of 4 is out overlanding their Mitsubishi, and they got stranded. This is actually practically what my LMTV looked like. It was stuck up to the halfway point of the axles. So
Look
And
at those 4 doors on it, though. It's amazing.
yes, super nice. Yeah, that's what I would have loved my LMTV to look like. They were overlanding, trying to cover all of Australia, and they got stuck. A whole bunch of rain came through, and they just absolutely got sucked into the mud. The land is so saturated that you can't get there with a vehicle, that no one can drive out to them to help them. So they hit their emergency beacon. So it's a good reason to have one of those, because I don't think they've got cell service out there.
No.
Yeah.
I think they've outdone George.
Possibly. So they hit their emergency beacon, and authorities showed up in just a couple hours, which is pretty awesome, with an airplane, and they dropped off supplies and a cell phone to them so they could have communications. The family said they're just going to stick it out. They've got supplies and things like that. They can stick it out. They'll be fine. So their rig is a Mitsubishi. It's on 37s, which it's a pretty decent tire. Not as big as the 46s of the LMTV that I had, but 37s is still a decent tire for one of those Fuso type box trucks. Only has a limited slip rear end. Although with as stuck as they are, I don't think lockers would have helped them.
No.
And it's got like a 17,000 pound winch up front and a 12,000 pound winch on the rear. Unfortunately, because it's not Mud Runner, they can't just winch to the nearest Charlie Brown Christmas tree and try to pull themselves out.
Well, it even looks like, this picture I've got up here, if you look on the front end, it almost looks like they have some max tracks. Like they tried digging themselves out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. It does look like there might be a max track there in the dirt right in front of that tire. So,
I mean, if it's that really thick, gummy mud, I mean, good luck anyways, right? It's just going to have to dry out.
Yeah. So they're just going to wait it out. Authorities say that the land isn't going to dry out for at least 2 weeks, which that's quite a while. Here's the twist, though. The temps right now are over 100 degrees out there, which is super interesting. That they had some crazy monsoon. They had a monsoon that got the ground so wet that they got stuck, but now it's 100 degrees. So not only do the animals and insects in Australia want to kill you, but the weather wants to also. So because it was over 100 degrees, they started running out of water. They must not have life straws, because clearly there's plenty of puddles to drink out of. So they reached out to the authorities, and they were all airlifted to safety via a helicopter. So they're out of there. Their rig's going to hang out for a while. So just going to be a statue out there in the middle of nowhere. Sounds like they're like 93 miles from anywhere as well.
I don't think they're going to have to worry about vandals out there unless some Aboriginal guy walks through and he's like, I'm going to slash these tires with this stick.
Yeah, Aboriginal probably wouldn't do that, though. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. So, anyways, yeah. So that's that. Hashtag go prepared. They had their emergency beacon, and it probably saved their life.
That rig looks really equipped. Like, I think their only big problem was running out of water. Which, I mean, who plans to run out of water, right?
Yeah, Eric says, could they have winched to a dead man? That's a really good possibility, but that means, I mean, I don't know how many dead men are around there for them to find one to winch to, but if they can't find any dead men, they'll have to kill one of the people in the family, and that's probably not really cool. So No, Eric's talking about a dead man, like something that you bury in the ground, and that could be done, but it just it's a lot of work, especially when it's 100 degrees out to dig a hole in the ground to bury something, pull
Well,
yourself 100 feet.
yeah, and you'd probably have to keep doing it continuously, considering how
Yeah,
saturated that ground is. Like you saw in the pictures, it looked like
exactly.
their ruts were just full of water. So I mean, you're literally just going to be 2 weeks for it to dry out, and then you'll be able to just pull out and call it good.
Yeah, heavy rig. So
I wouldn't mind being stuck somewhere for 2 weeks. Just saying.
I know,
Sign me
right?
up.
Sorry, boss. Sorry, boss. I can't make it. My rig is stuck. I
I'm
mean,
buried.
we could try that on the snow trip, Jeremy, if you really want to.
Sure.
Yeah,
Why not?
sorry, Jeremy's stuck. He's gonna have to stay out here.
Yep.
We'll drive to
Can't
town
keep
and call
going.
your wife, and then tell your wife to call your boss. How does that
Yeah.
sound?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
eventually my boss will come calling. So
Well, what will happen is you'll call your wife and be like, "Hey, honey, I'm stuck, and also Aaron ran into the back of my vehicle," and then the phone will go dead.
no, you only ran into the back of yeah. So for anybody that doesn't remember, that actually happened where we had some service. Aaron ran into the back of my rig, but just barely tapped it. And I was on the phone with my wife, told her that, and then the phone just went dead. And I didn't have service for like 20 minutes. She
Yeah,
was not thrilled.
no, and neither was I. I was like, "Dude, you got to call her back. You got to get somewhere service. You got to call her back fast."
She's gonna murder me.
Yeah, yeah. Aaron
Yeah,
just
she
ran in
wasn't
the back
thrilled
of my
about it.
Jeep. Click. Yeah.
Good
So,
times.
anyways, well, our next news story here is about the next gen Ranger, which we talked about a couple weeks ago. It's been revealed, and it sounds like the Ranger that's for the rest of the world is what we're going to get here in the States.
Nice.
I really like the front end on this one.
I do too. It's different. It doesn't look like anything that's out there. I'm like I had talked about the Nissan, the new Nissan Frontier and the Tacoma. It looks like all they did was flip the grill and throw on a different badge.
Yeah. So you're never going to get the cabs away from not looking like each other. The cabs, it's just a cab. They're always going to look like that. The beds can have a little bit of difference, but they still usually look similar.
Well, the
But
new
the
Colorado has
grill,
a different cab.
the what?
The new Colorado has a slightly different cab because it bubbles out in the back.
Yeah, yes, but there's not much you can do to make the cabs much different. They're all going to be about the same size and have the same windshield angle, and
Yeah.
they always seem to have that little kick up at the rear of the back window for some reason, probably
Mhm.
for some sort of structural thing that helps in crashes. So all of them have it. So, but this one looks pretty cool. I like that little fender vent or whatever that little decal thing is on the side too. I think that
Yeah,
adds a
it's
little.
almost like the F-150 badge, but it's
Mhm.
or all the F series badges, but it looks like it's actually functional venting, which with what they have for engine options might be why. If you want to speak to that more.
Um, so the Ranger is going to come with 4 engines for sure that we know about. 3 of them are diesels, which is pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more diesels in midsize trucks. So they're going to be an inline 4 that's either a single turbo or a twin turbo, a V6 turbo diesel, or the 2.3 inline 4 turbo gas EcoBoost engine. Um, Bad news. None of the diesels are coming to the States.
No.
Of
You're
course not.
kidding me.
No, it's interesting. It's manufacturers are going away from diesel. I imagine in the United States, and I imagine it's because of the Volkswagen fiasco with their cars a
Yeah.
couple of years ago, and so we're seeing more of like the 2.0 or 2 whatever plus a twin turbo, where you're getting similar torque and horsepower to the diesel trucks and fuel economy. But I'm looking through these pictures. They show this is the Wild Track, which I imagine is similar to an FX4 package, but maybe that's what they're going for, is a different
Yeah.
model for their off-road package, kind of like how the
Stay
Bronco has the Sasquatch and all that.
stay on that stay on that picture for a minute here. So, a big deal is the infotainment in this. I don't remember the screen size, and you get two different options of screen size, but it's a huge screen that isn't typical.
Yeah, that's like Tesla screen size, maybe a little smaller. That looks like maybe a 12-inch iPad size screen.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge for anything in that market. So, pretty neat. That one shows it with a stick shift. It looks like a 6-speed.
Obviously, the steering wheel's on the wrong side, but that's fixable.
Exactly. We will most likely get the 10-speed auto and not the 6-speed manual.
Most
That's
likely.
a bummer. Yeah.
It could change where they do offer it, just because, I mean, look at what happened with Bronco. They ended up offering it.
It's very true. It just seems though that it's what the market really wants. And if no one's buying stick shifts in the current Rangers, they're not going to offer a stick shift in the future Rangers.
Yep.
So it's kind of how that goes.
I really do like these headlights.
Yeah, I think they look pretty spiffy. So, and then it's basically the same size. Of course, it's not going to get much bigger or anything. It's basically the same size as the current gen Ranger. They say the wheelbase is 2 inches longer though, so I'm curious about that. If they stretched it in the front or in the rear, or how they got that 2 more inches.
It looks like they did it a little bit more in the front.
Yeah. And then the last bit, which is the best news right there, is that there's a way better chance of the Ranger Raptor coming to the States with this go round, where we didn't get it in the current gen Ranger. So, anyways, looks good. And if they go wild with what they did with the Bronco, and what they're also doing with the Maverick, with all these dealer options and things like that, these things could be pretty cool with what you could accessorize them with. So,
yeah,
looking forward to what it does.
Ford's really stepped up the game on this. It'll be interesting to see if they do something like that center section of that bumper, if they have like a winch package that works with it, like a trimmer package.
Yeah, and in this picture, you can see all three of these trucks have different lower fascias on them.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Looking forward to see what they do.
Yep.
Go prepared with Warren Industries. They produced the first recreational winch in 1959 and lead the industry with their dedication to quality and reliability. When you dig yourself in deep, make sure you have the right tools to get yourself out. Get Warren equipped and go where others can't. Now, let's get ready for adventure and head into our main topic.
Well, this week's episode is our Christmas gift exchange. So every year we kind of talk about some things that we want for Christmas, and then and some of these are a little bit dreaming, obviously, because the price range goes up to unlimited. But and we definitely aren't going to get those for Christmas. But then we kind of pick out a present for one of the other hosts. So we'll start off with Ben. Ben, go ahead and do we want to do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 in each category, or do we just want to go through?
Let's just work our way through all three.
Okay.
All right. So,
this is the $0 to $49 category, BT Dubs.
Yep. So
I don't know what would be 0, so we should probably just make
what
that
in the world is going on?
What?
Did you block that, Ben?
Yes, I did. I did not.
Thank you.
Not playing around. All right. So my first item here is a single Cyclone light, only because of the price of the new Cyclones. They're $30 a pop. So to stay in that budget, it's like, I will do rock lights one by one. So, hey, if you
You
ask
should
for
have made your second item another rock light.
Yeah.
I could have. I thought about it, and then I was like, nah. And then, I'm always trying to organize my crap, and it never stays organized. But I was looking at the wolf packs by Frontrunner. They're kind of like the whole cool overlander box that they're stackable. You can sit on them. They're pretty durable, and they're $36.86. So I mean, they're pretty reasonably priced to where I could organize up my stuff in some smaller boxes instead of having them all crowded together in one big tub.
Yeah, I've seen those. Are pretty neat. The only downside, but there's a lot of bins and totes that have this downside, is I'm pretty sure they aren't like weatherproof at all. So if you strap one and
They're actually decently weatherproof. I wouldn't say
I don't think it's got I don't think it's got a gasket. Is where I'm going. So, yep.
And then for my gift for Jeremy here, I chose the high lift jackmate. Just so you have another option for lifting those big tires off the ground. If
That
you-
does come in handy sometimes.
Yeah, it does come in handy. I mean, just another way to lift your rig.
Yeah, there's been a couple times where I've wished I had. So there was one time that I got high centered and there wasn't anything to winch to when I was out doing some rock crawling, and it would have been nice to have that, because I ended up having to jack the Jeep up and then stack some rocks underneath to get off my. I think I was on my. I don't know. I was on my exhaust area or something, but yeah, that would have been definitely nice for that.
Well, yeah, because then you're not battling the flex, and that's kind of what
Yeah.
the idea is behind those. Well, Aaron, you're up, man.
So for mine, I apparently put something in the wrong column in this one. So I put a water jerry can with a spigot. So I've got like a 5-gallon water jerry can that I use and I take camping, but you've got to like tip it to get the water out. And this one has a spigot in the bottom corner of it. So it just sits on your camp table, your tailgate, or your trailer somewhere. You just turn the spigot to get the water in and out, which is a lot easier for children to do without spilling your water all over the place. And then you got to get airlifted out because they wasted water and it's 100 degrees.
Yeah.
So
no, I want to
Go ahead.
say that Jeff and Melissa had they did Arnold Palmer's one time at one of the events that they were at.
and they
with
filled
those.
those up.
Yeah. So they had lemonade in one and tea in the other one. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. And then my other 0 to 49 item is a $300 double swag tent. Apparently, I put that in the wrong column, so I don't have a second 0 to 49. But the double swag tent is a typical like Australian ground swag tent, and this one's double, so it's wider, so you can put 2 people in it, or whatever. It's wide. Maybe you can change your clothes in it because those swag tents are like coffins. So
yeah, it's one you can cuddle with your wife in.
And the single swag tent is only like $40 or $50 cheaper than the double, so it's like, why not buy the bigger one? Bigger's always better. And then for Ben, for this amount, yeah, it was a Black Friday deal. It got marked down from $300 all the way down to $49. For Ben, I picked out the Skinny Medic Pocket Kit. So it's like a small trauma kit that would fit into a pocket. So since you still live and work in the Tecompton area and Spanamania.
And I get injured regularly.
Well, none of the things in this pocket kit would take care of your regular injuries unless you're getting gunshot wounds and stuff like that often.
In your regular
Not
day-to-day
often
life.
enough. No.
Yeah.
Hopefully
So,
not.
how about you,
ever,
Jeremy?
but- well, the first item in my kit is just a folding charcoal grill. So I just want something that's kind of, folds down really small. I don't need anything, super fancy or super expensive, just something to hold some charcoal and have a grill grate over top. So this one's kind of nice. It folds down flat. And then, I actually have a picture in here. Da-da-da. This makes for great radio. So it just folds down flat, holds a little bit of charcoal, and lets you grill some stuff. So that's something that's been on my list.
That's cool.
The second thing here is just do a little camp mood lighting. So some LED light bulbs that hook up to a 12 volt, or a USB power pack. Just something to give you a little bit of light and not have to use headlamps everywhere.
I like that. How long are those string lights?
I forgot to check actually.
So I've got some single bulb ones that came with like a USB splitter, and they're like 8-foot long lines. I bought them for camping so that I can hang the lights in the corners of my awning.
So it says this is 17 feet of lights on a 24-foot strand.
Nice. You should be able to hang those up all over.
Yeah. And then for this category, I had Aaron. So bear with me and let me explain the whole set because it sounds a little weird. It's an 8-piece an 8-piece quick fist set. So
Yes.
for those that don't know what the quick fist is it's a the original ones were like for mounting shovels and axes and stuff like that. But this kit's really nice. So it's only like $26, and so you get So thanks for throwing it up there. So you get 8 clamps. So you get 4 of the originals, you get 2 of the minis, and then the things that I really liked in this one was the 2 super quick fists. So one of the things that's really cool is actually on the packaging they're advertising a power tank for the super quick fists. So that's for mounting a power tank sized item. So it's I really like it.
Or a fire extinguisher.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, look
there's
at that.
there's the packaging. So power tank right in the middle.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I've got quick fists that I've used before, and they're great for, like, I've used them for shovels and axes. They're quite handy.
Oh yeah.
I think they're cool. I don't own any, so yeah, that'd be great to go with my stuff.
Well, I think we need to move on to the $50 to $299 category.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I might have $500 items in mind. We'll see.
Well,
I can't. Apparently, I can't obey the rules.
Yeah. All right, Aaron, we'll kick it off with you.
All right. So for my upcoming wheels, I need some wheel adapters because I'm not going to Titan swap the rear axle out of my truck, at least at this point. So I need some wheel adapters to replace the wheel spacers that I have. I'm running some. Sorry, I've got the hiccups here. I've got the 2-inch wheel spacers in the back. So some custom wheel adapters, $249 for a pair of 2, which is pretty pricey. But they're made in the U.S. I'm pretty sure they're, from what I read, they're made to order. So I think they're like billet, that they're CNC machining and everything. So you pick your old size, obviously your new size, the thread pitch of whatever lugs you're using. They send you sets of lug nuts for them. If it's hub centric, things like that. So you send them all that info and they make them in like 2 weeks and ship them out. So pretty neat. Some wheel adapters. And then I'm kind of into this new backpacker stove thing. So I don't have this. It's about the same size as that camp grill that you were sharing, Jeremy, but it's a wood stove with a little chimney, and you put it in tents that have a little roof jack in them. So
this can't be for a backpacker, right? Like, you're not carrying this in a backpack.
Some of them you can, like, they're titanium and they're like $700. So that's pretty intense, but no pun intended. But the idea is that you have a wood stove inside of your tent with you.
Yeah.
I did talk to some buddies who run these in their fun setups, and they said that you have to feed them every 1 to 2 hours. Like they're so small, the wood won't stay burning all night long. So I'm not sure how good of a sleep you'll get, but at least you got a wood stove keeping you warm, right?
Yeah.
So
I was trying to grab a picture, but it won't let me.
oh, it. Anyways, I just think it would be fun to try those and see what it's like to have a wood
Yeah.
stove in my tent.
Absolutely.
And then
Which tent would
and
you
then
throw
for,
that in?
well, I'd have to buy a tent to go with it too. They make some actually really cool teepee style tents where it's just a single pole in the middle. And Coy says that's about how often I need to be fed, as well as every 1 to 2 hours. Um, they make
Well, then
these really cool teepee style. It just has a single pole in the middle, and then it just is just a big cone shape, and pretty neat. And you just stake it to the ground, and they make those in 1 man up to like 6 man tents.
And you can even get adapters for those type of stoves for the chimney to do a 90 outside of a tent too.
Yep, and actually, you can buy just this square of fabric that you can sew on to an existing tent to have a stove jack out of an existing tent. So if you want to just put it on something you own. So Eric says to put it on the rooftop tent. Coy's asking if you could bake cookies or anything. I don't know if you could bake cookies because it's the fire goes inside the stove where you'd probably have to put the cookies. But you could cook food on top of it like a stove top. So you could heat up soups or use it like a panini press or something like that.
Panini press, nice.
Yeah. So
That's
and then
that's
for
the
Jeremy,
next Overland accessory is the
the
Overland panini press.
Actually, those have been around for since before I was a kid. Have you guys ever seen those pie irons that you
Yep.
put
Oh
two
yeah,
slices of white bread and some filling and you shove it in the coals?
yeah.
Yeah.
We should remarket those as a panini press.
Yep.
Well,
And call it the Overland panini press.
they make sandwich versions of them also that are extra wide with the grill lines in it.
Right, but are you marketing it? Are they marketing it as an Overland
No,
panini press?
no, but they should. I agree with you. Yeah. So, um, and then for Jeremy, I picked out some heated seats for you. I actually have this exact one in my pickup truck in my Frontier, although they've changed the switches from what I had before, but it gives you two sets of two. So you kind of undo your hog rings, you slide these up into your seat back and in your seat bottom, and then what I did rather than re-hog ring, and I just zip tied it back closed, and it works fine. And so it means you don't have to buy any specialty tools. And you wire
That
it
looks
in,
fantastic,
throw a fuse in there. Yeah,
especially for snow wheeling.
yeah. Heated seats are pretty sweet. So
Yeah,
thought you'd like that.
I do. I'm looking at it right now to purchase it, but probably won't
It's
do it today.
only night. Yeah, so that one's only $94, by the way.
Yeah,
So
totally
it's
reasonable.
very reasonable. You have to be a little crafty to be able to get them into your seats, and you have to be a little crafty to wire them up. But it's not too terrible.
Yeah, you
No.
just have to reupholster your seats. We've done it at work. It's a little time consuming,
Yeah.
but it's totally worth it if you do it right.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy,
Well-
what do you got in your category?
The other part of this is I have some AEV seat covers over top, so
Oh,
in
so you
theory,
can
I can just slide it under the seat cover, and
Mm.
as long as I never plan on taking the seat cover off.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the first thing on my list in the $50 to $299 is a set of Evo quick release mud flaps. So I'm knocking on wood that it doesn't happen, but I kind of know that my Jeep is not quite legal. Probably a few areas. I think
Yeah.
mud flap and probably bumper height, but the mud flap one's probably the one that's going to get me a ticket sometime. So these have been kind of on. I've been eyeing looking at some quick release kits for mud flaps, so I could at least throw them on if I'm not planning on doing any wheeling anytime soon. But yeah, so figured now's a good time before I get the ticket, right?
Yes,
Uh,
ideally,
yeah, ideally, absolutely. The
because
second thing,
I bet you the ticket would pay for 2 sets of those mud flaps.
probably, I'm hoping that the first ticket is, they're a little bit nice with me.
A fix-it ticket.
Oh, we'll see. Yeah, hopefully. Did Jay Ensley just tell you to put mud flaps on my Jeep? No, I don't think so. No ticket yet. Knock on wood. Anyway, the second thing here on my list is from Masterpole. So it's the 20-foot MacGyver. So the nice thing about the MacGyver is it works as a tree strap. It's a 20-foot winch extension. You can use it as a bridle for doing some pull if you're like pulling from your Jeep. You know, the next time I have to drag Ben through the ditch with the Bubba rope, it's a good idea to use a bridle so you're evening out the stress on your toe points, so you don't tweak anything.
Yep.
So this has been something that's been on my list for a while, but it definitely is a really cool one. So Rick has one. I think he just has a 10-foot version though. So it comes in a 10-foot version or a 20-foot version. I really like the 20-foot version because sometimes you just need a little extra tree strap to go around a tree.
Yeah, trees aren't as small in circumference as you'd think when you get up to that stuff.
No, not at all.
Coy says he uses Masterpool exclusively, so he's gonna look into that.
Yeah.
Go back to that picture. Did you notice what's above that tree strap?
Someone that used just their cable.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
And I hope they did that for their marketing, honestly, because that shows you the exact reason why you don't wrap a winch cable around a tree.
Yeah. And looking at this tree strap, I first I was like, really a tree strap for this? But you see like the padding they have with it along the backside of it, and it looks like that the rope has a sleeve over it to kind of help give it more surface area.
Yeah. So the you're exactly right. It has that sleeve over it, so it gives it enough area that it's not going to damage the tree, but it's also not as big as it folds down it rolls up a lot better than an actual tree strap.
Definitely.
So Ben on this one, I was looking at the BioLite solar home.
Have you seen those before, Ben?
I have, as soon as I found the picture of it, and I was like, oh wow, that's pretty neat.
So I figure for your off-grid camping trailer, teardrop trailer, that this would be a good option for you.
Yeah, no, it's got like a little bit of everything that I need. Light.
Yeah. From what I understand too, that main box which houses the battery, you can also connect things via USB to it to charge those items as well. So you can charge phones, and it's got a Bluetooth speaker in it as well, just like all camp gear should have.
Yep. All the noise in the woods.
Yeah.
Well, I'm up now, right? Yeah. So I put on here the Fiskars 36-inch maul.
I love the screen share of that.
Yeah, it's just like this giant maul in the middle of the screen. Sorry, Jeremy, we don't want to look at your face right now.
He just put a maul through my head.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm coming for myself next. Yeah,
wow. I didn't know they made mauls. I mean, I haven't looked for them, but that thing is a beast.
Yeah, I've used some of their axes in the past. I think Aaron Kravik has one of their. He has the maul?
I believe so.
I was thinking it was just a regular axe.
Oh wait, it was his a Gerber maul.
I don't know. I don't.
I don't know. I don't know. But I saw this and I was like, having a nice mall for when we're like winter camping and we need to chop up our own firewood, that would be nice. So
Yeah,
yeah. And
I like
then
that.
my next item here, because everyone's like all about those scottles, and I want to be different. I got here the Pit Boss. It's one of those flat top griddles. I'm really looking at one of the single burner ones. I don't need the big 17-inch double burner. Well, I could, but I don't need it for the trailer or my personal gear. And it'd be nice to be able to just, I don't know, I could cook a crepe on that. I could cook a pancake. How many pancakes can you cook on a scuttle? Right?
Exactly one.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly one. And
Do,
then
do pancakes cook on scottles also with the depression in the middle? I don't know.
not
That's why you
really.
can only cook one, because you have to cook it right in the center.
Yeah. And then here for Aaron, which I thought I had the picture saved. No. That is totally the wrong picture. Is the Smittybilt trail was it the receiver hitch step. So Aaron had one and either it fell off or someone took it off his rig while I was in Moab. Here's that picture. And so why not get him a nice replacement? Because
Yeah,
that thing it's really handy. You can use it as a recovery point. You can use it as a step, which Aaron I've seen use it as a step a lot.
hmm
And if someone runs into the back of you, it
Oh
might
boy.
help, might make your day a little better and their day a lot worse.
Yeah, that's 4 more inches of something they're going to hit before they hit the back of my truck if they hit that first. So, um, yeah, I love that thing. I was really sad when I came out of the condo that we were renting and it was missing. So, if it fell out, I'd be surprised because the hitch pin would have had to fall out, then the pin itself would have had to fall out, then the step would have had to fall out, and I would have
That's a whole lot of
probably
things that need to fall out beforehand.
yeah. Coy says it's a shin removal device. That is 100%. Although I never have banged my shin on that one. I've hit many um, receiver balls and things like that, but I've never hit my shin on that one. So, thankfully,
Well, I guess I'm up next with the $300 to $3,000 price range. So the first thing here on my list is which where did it go? I thought there was a picture here. Anyway, it's a brand new soft. Oh, there it is, soft top. So it's a Smittybilt or not a Smittybilt.
Best
It's
top.
a desktop Twill NX Plus. So I really like the Sunrider feature. That's really what I'm super excited for about that thing is it's just so
gotcha.
easy to flip the front part back. And then I've also just kind of wanted to get into a soft top just, for the added, it gives you a little bit of extra clearance if you're kind of on an obstacle that's kind of tippy and it's tipping you into something. You can throw the soft top. You can just take the soft top off versus the hard top. You can't remove it, and so if you hit anything, you're just going to hit the roll bar. So that's a little extra insurance if you really need to go there. And then just being able to just flip the top back is something that I'm super excited for, and being able to remove the top on a trip without having to remove a hard top.
Yeah. Well,
And then
and it's a best top, which I've seen. To me, it seems like the quality between a factory soft top and the best top soft tops, um, the best tops are just far better quality
Yeah,
for your.
especially if you upgrade to the twill fabric, because it's actually a fabric instead of like a vinyl. So it's quite a bit quieter than like a factory soft top. Um, and then it's also nice because you can actually remove the windows and just run the top as a safari top. So you can have the back windows out, but still have some shade if you're running without the doors, but still have pretty much an open experience. The next thing up here on my list is as I have built the Jeep up and are starting to do harder and harder obstacles is just
Are
a
you kidding
Genrite
me?
cage.
Is
What?
that from IKEA?
No, it's from Genrite. So here's a picture of the cage completed. Um, it's
You can't
something
just
that
buy it like that
no, you
for
can't. It's well
20.
together.
It's $2,700 in pieces.
Yes, it is.
Whoa.
But that is $27 in pieces that you don't have to figure out the geometry, and it's
Yeah.
all
Well,
go together.
I bought a roll cage for a car, which probably has half as many bars as this has. This has a whole lot of bars and plates, but
Yeah.
I bought a roll
This one-
cage for a car that was cut specifically for the car itself, and it was under $700 shipped to my house.
Wow. No, Genrite makes some really good stuff.
No, they definitely do. They really do.
Ouch, Koi. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Well, I like this comment here. He says it's the only way to make Jeep cargo capacity even smaller.
Oh yeah, he was talking about how it's a fastback style.
well, I mean, it's the top or
Yeah, the top is a
Yeah.
fastback style.
Yeah, probably the top.
yeah. I'm sure it's the top. Yeah, that is one downside, but I do also really just like the look of the fastback style.
It also
No, I do too.
it gives you a little bit more of a clearance on that back corner, especially if you're off camber and you're near a tree.
Totally.
I've got friends that run the fastback styles, and they run them because of that.
Yeah. I think under normal circumstances, it would probably also give you a little bit better visibility out the back, but I still think that 40-inch tire is going to get in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that cage is pretty cool. Would you think you would weld up yourself?
I'd probably enlist a buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want it to not fail, and I don't have much welding experience. So I have buddies with more welding experience than me. So it's nice because the cage kind of puzzle pieces together, so it kind of slots together. So it's kind of a no brainer. You just slot it into the right spot and tack it up, and then you test fit it, and then once you're sure it's good to go, you just go ahead and weld it all up. So it's definitely a good one if you're looking for a cage for the JKs.
My only complaint about that is that it doesn't seem to have the bar that goes behind the front seats, so there is no harness there.
You can't add it.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Yeah, they sell an additional kit for the harness bars.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I had Aaron for this one, and so instead of buying a gift or picking out a gift for Aaron, I picked out a gift for Aaron's wife. So she needs this Warn Ascent F-150 bumper.
Oh yeah, she does. Oh man, that would be sweet on my wife's truck. Honey, I hope you're listening.
I really like the bumper. It's a nice bumper. It's definitely one that I would do for my own.
And it's made here in the States by Americans.
Koi is on fire tonight.
Wow, that one burns.
So Koi says, I know Ben is a SEMA builder now, so he can probably weld it for you.
Well,
Ouch.
no, see, I'm still hurt by he put Ben's rooftop tent on it, glue the solar panel over the hole that all the water comes in. There's no holes in it. I fixed the holes. I bought it with the holes.
But that one time that you shared the video where you're camping and you've got a plastic shopping bag collecting the water as it's dripping in while you're trying to sleep.
Yeah,
that was funny.
And then he cut the headliner and it poured water.
Yeah. I'll never live that down.
Hashtag SEMA builder.
Yeah.
Well, man, I would love to have that on my wife's truck. I think that'd be rad and give me an excuse to have another winch on the farm. I mean, it is a farm truck after all. I do have to remind her that, like, when it gets dirty or things like that, or I scrape the paint when I'm wheeling it in the desert, I have to remind her it's a farm truck. We bought it to be used on the farm, not as a Cadillac that is just a pavement princess. So,
but it basically is a Cadillac too.
It is pretty nice.
Yeah.
So Ben, let's throw it to you for the $300 to $3,000 range.
Well, I was thinking hard and long about this one. So my first one was gears and lockers.
Can you get that in for $3,000
You can get gears and lockers for about $3,000. It's
installed?
cutting close.
Not installed.
Not installed.
No.
No. So I'd have them, and then I'd just have to go.
Actually, you know what? You may be able to. So when I
close.
was looking
Really
when I
close.
was looking up pricing on gears, I came across a 2 ARB and 2 ring and pinion set quad combo thing for $1,999. So for $2,000, you could buy for the Nissan ring and pinions and ARB lockers. So I would expect the Tacoma and Forerunners to be the same price or cheaper because of availability.
Well, and the cool thing with the Toyota is I can remove the centers and take them to them, and it's a whole lot. It saves a little bit on that labor, and then I just install them back in myself. So,
oh yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
So there's ways to get around it and help make it more affordable. And then for my next one here is having someone else redo my head gasket, because at the rate I'm moving at, that's how it's gonna be.
Call up John at Auburn Car Repair.
Yeah.
Hey,
Call him up.
quick question. How long has your head gasket been going out?
Probably for a year and a half.
Probably for a year and a half. Yeah.
I'm curious to see if my Jeep got put back together in less time than Ben's head
Well,
gasket.
so when I essentially decommissioned it was August.
Ben, Coy says, Ben, will you have gears and a head gasket done in time for SEMA?
2025.
Coy is on fire today. I also liked his comment.
Yeah,
so he says Ben's rooftop tent video was like watching one of those zip popping TikToks, and it totally was.
Yes, it was. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy, even though you've been mean to me all night, for Christmas, we're talking. I'm thinking some JW speaker headlights.
Yes.
Because
those things.
Factory headlights are garbage in the Jeeps.
Yeah, they suck.
I especially now that you're on 40s. I mean, you've got a lot of room to get down to that ground to be able to see what's in front of you.
I know. Yeah, that's definitely something that's on the needed list, but we'll see sometime. They're so expensive.
Allie wants to know if we've got some $50 or less suggestions. We had those towards the early part of the show. A single cyclone light, a wolf pack from Front Runners, high lift jackamate, water jerry can with a spigot through Ironman 4x4, skinny medic pocket kit.
You skipped one.
Yeah, that's because that one was way off on price. USB camp lights, a folding charcoal grill, and an 8-piece quick fist set. Those were our 0 to 50 range.
Now she says white elephant gift game. These aren't really white elephant gifts. These are really honestly things that people are going to want. So maybe when she says white elephant, she doesn't necessarily mean like gag gifts.
Wait,
yeah.
You're supposed to
unless you buy a different type. Unless you buy a different kind of a quick fist setup.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to get good gifts for a white elephant?
Not usually. Those are usually gag gifts.
Yeah.
No. I guess I've been doing it wrong.
Some soft shackles would also be another good one.
Yeah.
No,
she says we aren't doing gag gifts. So.
Yep. Same idea, but with nice stuff.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Coy's favorite thing, a vest that stows into its own pocket.
Yeah.
That's handy. And especially if you get one of those battery powered ones.
So my $300 to $3,000 list here is some gears front and rear, some 410s. So actually that is the picture from the website that I was looking at. So Rugged Rocks sells that kit, I believe, for $1,099 for lockers, air lockers front and rear, and a ring and pinion set front and rear. So,
Wait,
but
1,099 or 1,900?
whatever I said, which is basically $2,000
Okay, 19.
minus the dollar.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so yeah, I need to regear so I can get to those 37s. That's the next milestone for the Frontier. I want to kick it up. I just overlanding on 37s is pretty much where everybody should be if they're overlanding. So,
You got to be Olaf.
yep. I really need a new head unit in my truck. I picked out this Pioneer one because it has Android Auto, and it will also work with my steering wheel controls and the Bluetooth that I already have in it.
Crutchfield has all the knowledge.
Yeah, so I don't need. Gun and Gear Review podcast says no. I'm not sure what their no is in reference to. But
Nobody likes them. It's okay.
oh,
Shut up, Chad.
yeah, Chad. Yeah, so I need a new head unit for my truck, and which would be really helpful for using Gaia maps and stuff. I
Yeah.
loved one time riding with Jeremy. We were using Gaia maps on his head unit. So
You know, I use Gaia maps with Rick in his Jeep.
Yeah,
A
Coy,
couple
I think you're out of luck.
It's a
Yeah. And then for Ben, I picked out a Total Chaos slash Radflow 3-inch lift kit setup. So it's upper control arms, it's rear springs, it is shocks for the rear, and coilovers for up front, and probably some stickers.
Did
to
you
give
say
some
it was
more
rad?
horsepower.
Because it's totally rad. Because look at that.
Yeah.
That's hot.
It is hot. I couldn't
it's stolen.
squeak in the remote reservoirs for this price. So sorry,
You know
you're out of
what?
luck on.
But the cool thing is they're the 2.5s, right? So when I send them in for rebuilding when the time comes, just upgrade them.
Yep, you sure
Oh.
could. Coy says I should have got you a head gasket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
that would be that 0 to 49 category too.
that's true. Yeah, you could get it just the head gasket for that price. So let's move on to our last one here, the unlimited category.
Oh, boy.
Ben, tell us all your hopes and dreams here.
All my hopes and dreams here. Okay, so this first one I got here is the Marlin long travel kit that they have. It starts at $6,000, but then you have all the other stuff you need to get to, like I don't know, long travel stuff. So I'd need some rad flow, shocks and coilovers, and then there's an upgraded steering kit that Marlin makes that would need to go with that. It's like a Land Cruiser 100 series rack and pinion, and then you've got to do some upgrades to it to make it better, because 40-inch tires, I'd be able to fit 40-inch tires.
So I was going to ask you when you're done, what size tire would you want to run if you did that?
So Fred from Dirt Every Day used this kit on a 4th gen 4Runner, and he's running 40-inch tires. So
well, Jeremy runs 40s. I think you should do like
42s.
I think you should do 41s or 42s. You got to one up Jeremy.
Yeah.
Didn't Fred have to like hack apart the body in the rear cargo area to where now it's basically just open?
You know what? Full send, buddy. Full send.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go full on crazy rock crawling 40 inches, and
he's gonna tub it out.
I'm gonna tub it out.
He'll build some overland drawers back there, so it looks like overland drawers, but it's just space for the tires to go in and out of it. You can't actually pull the drawer out, and there's only like 10 inches of drawer that comes out.
Yep. So, yeah, and with this fully rock crawled out 4th gen 4Runner, I figured I might as well go out and buy a fully kitted out Bronco, because why not? Something to overland with, and something to overland with a full blown head gasket, unless I get that head gasket done.
Coy's asking in the comments, has anyone else got a rock crawler kit? Though, because Marlin takes longer to ship than Jeremy's axles did. From what I remember, it was still in like the prototype stages when Fred got his kit.
And
So I don't think
the last time I looked at it, they said something like it was 6 months out, and that was about
wow.
4 months ago. So
Yeah, but if they actually hit 6 months instead of telling me it'd be 3 months and then telling me it'll be another 2 months and then telling me it'll be another 4 months, like I would have appreciated just hearing that it was going to be 7 months up front.
yeah. Well, and you know, I mean, I could just be like, hey guys, I've got all this unlimited money. Can I just pay you to do it now? No, build now. Here's more money.
I want to cut in line.
Yep, I'm cutting line here. And then for Aaron here, I chose to buy him 650 acres of land just outside of the Black Rock Desert in Nevada,
Yeah.
because I know how much my friend here loves northwestern Nevada and all of that. You know, hopefully he would have a hot spring on that property so that we can wheel, hang out in the hot spring, make sure Rick's not running around naked, and have a good time.
So funny story about Nevada. So last year, you guys probably remember, I went to Nevada for. Coy says my wife is going to be pissed, and she would be pissed if I got a bunch of land in Nevada. So last year I went to Nevada for Thanksgiving. So Oregon was closed. We went to Nevada for Thanksgiving for COVID reasons. And this year, the night before Thanksgiving, we were getting ready to leave to go out of town. The next morning, we drove Thanksgiving up to my in-laws in Chehalis and had Thanksgiving there. And I was talking to my sister and her husband, and I was like, because they were setting up for a huge party of people. I think they were having like 16 people over for dinner or something like that. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just all leave right now for Nevada. We can go right now. We'll make it. It'll be late, but we can go right now and leave for Nevada. And my brother-in-law says, "Don't tempt your sister. She would absolutely do it right now." And he's like, "And I would too." I'm like, "Well, that's 3 out of 4 of us because Carrie ain't coming. She doesn't want to go back to Nevada. She's done with it." So,
Really, she's done with Nevada?
well, maybe not done with Nevada, but she, I mean, she really appreciates Thanksgiving. She loves the tradition of Thanksgiving. She loves the food and she loves eating the leftovers. So Thanksgiving to her is a really big deal.
So
And
let's
so
go for Christmas.
I need to tread lightly with that, unless for some reason I could reproduce a Thanksgiving meal wherever we were headed, plus be able to get leftovers to eat the next 3 or 4 days for her. So
Just make the Thanksgiving meal not on Thanksgiving.
that's what I'm saying. Anyways, there's my Nevada story.
Then you get best
So
of both worlds. You get the Thanksgiving dinner, and then you also get to go and wheel when there's nobody out there.
mm-hmm. Ben, can you pull up a couple pictures of these the next ones in my list here?
I'm trying to, and it's being garbage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the page.
So the next one is for me in my unlimited budget, and it's I didn't want to spend a ton of money here. The item I picked is only $82,000. I mean, that's cheaper than some full size trucks right now. This is the Ariel Nomad.
So starting at 92.
That might be European money.
The two-wheel drive one.
I think it is 2-wheel drive. I don't think it's all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. So basically, it's a buggy. They make these over in Europe, and then you can buy them as a kit here and stuff like that too. So when I googled it, it said $82,000. I could be wrong. It doesn't matter. It's unlimited, but it is. So the Ariel Atom was like a track car, tube frame track car, and this is like an off-road buggy version of that. So it'd be like a fast street legal side by side. So pretty sick. I mean, a side by side will probably do everything and more than this would do, besides be street legal and be super fast on the highway. But if this is just super unique, and I'd love to have something like this compared to a side by side. I think this is pretty rad. If you showed up to something like this, people would oogle this way more than a side by side.
Well, and like one of those pictures is Virginia plates. So I mean, you could make it street legal, and I mean, can you imagine ripping up to the trail and ripping by the guy unloading his side by side? Oh, I can drive this on the road.
Yep. You drive on the road, and then you drive right onto the trail.
Yep.
It's got a Warn Axion Power Sports winch on the front, that 5,500 pound winch. So pretty
Nice.
cool.
Well, I mean, the thing only weighs 1,700 pounds, so
Yeah,
right. That's pretty light.
and
I
that's
mean, it's still heavy compared to side by sides, but it's still pretty light.
well, and that's Warren's top of the line, most sophisticated winch is the Axion series. So
Yeah.
Jelly.
So the next one here is the Ripsaw F4. So way back in the day, I think it was on the Discovery Channel, there was a show called How and How Technologies or something like that. And these guys were building really cool stuff that they were trying to get the government to buy from them. And the Ripsaw is a tank that they were building. So
Trying to find a good picture that'll let me download.
okay. Well, just imagine that car that I just shared, but as a tank and a little bit bigger. So it's like a tube frame chassis tank. I believe that you can completely close it off, and it's like chemical resistant in case Ben had just had Taco Bell outside or things like that. Yeah, super, super awesome. And they are classified as the world's fastest 2-tracked vehicle. So it's got a winch front and rear. Unfortunately, I think they use Smitty built winches, which is really odd.
Let's have an expensive vehicle with the cheapest bidder for the winch.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, how cool is that tank? That thing is rad.
Well, and I mean, look at that suspension, and I want to say those look like some rigid lights on this one.
Yeah, and it probably has infrared. It's got that little bubble on the top of the camera. It probably has got some sort of night vision and infrared going on. This would just be awesome to rip around in the snow, in the dirt, in the mud, in the sand, like any terrain. You just go and you go as fast as you want. So it's not amphibious though. So
unfortunately,
yeah, that's
I mean,
lacking.
maybe if you put a snorkel kit on the engine, you could drive it under the water as long as your snorkel was taller.
And you look at how high that engine's sitting though. I mean, you've probably got 3 feet of fording ability.
I bet you've got 6 feet of fording ability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coy said it's the real version of the fast track RC car from our childhood.
There we go.
I wanted one of those.
Didn't we all?
But was poor. And then my last thing, Jeremy, for you, you're gonna love it. I'm so excited for this one. It's the Ford F550 with the 8,000 pound payload in the bed. So this is a custom built truck. The guy said he spent $6 million building this thing.
Woo!
So,
well, look at that thing on the roof. I can understand why.
It's awesome. It's like got a camper built into it. It definitely needs to be swapped out with a flatbed so you can throw a Jeep up there. But other than that, man, that thing is kind of ugly, but also pretty dang awesome.
Well, I mean, so all the space you have for people.
So here's what's cool about it is it's 22 inches wider than a normal F750. And Koi's correcting me in the comments. It is a 750, not a 550. I didn't do very good math on it, but it's 22 inches wider. So that means someone widened the chassis, widened the frame on it. They widened the cab. So that means they had custom glass made for the windshield.
That's a lot of effort.
22 inches is a lot. When you go in and look at the pictures, there's a link in our show notes to this one. When you look at the pictures, it's got a front bench seat and a front captain's chair. So you can fit 3 people up front plus have a space to walk in between them. There's a stripper pole in there, all kinds of stuff.
But
It's
not
pretty
really
neat. Well, if you got that bench seat out of the way, you could. And so it says it has an 8,000-pound payload. The payload is the amount of weight you can put in the bed. That's not the towing capacity. That's the payload. So literally, Jeremy could drive his Jeep right up in the back of this because it's 22 inches wider. You can fit wide things in there.
Yeah.
Just need some rock sliders and it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I really love where the spare tires are mounted on it, on the back side, on the back of the cab.
Yeah, way up high.
Yep,
It's
those are
pretty
going to be
neat.
fun to get down.
Yeah.
Hope you don't get a flat tire. That's why you have the Jeep back there, because then you just drive to town.
Yeah.
There you go.
Call AAA. Yep, you guys need to get this down for me.
Yeah, that one's pretty sweet. Well, jumping into my stuff. So what I would really love right now is a overlanded out Jeep Gladiator. I'll just take the one that Northridge is giving away. That'd be fine with me.
Yeah.
What
What if they hypothetical?
Yeah.
What if tomorrow they announce the Bronco pickup truck, the 4-door Bronco pickup truck?
That'd be difficult. I'd probably go for the Bronco for an Overlander. Just because that IFS is going to do a little bit better for overlanding than
Absolutely.
than the solid axle, but that's so basic, Jeremy.
Yeah, Coy's calling you basic.
Sorry, Coy. He's the one that really likes pumpkin spice lattes, so I don't think he has any room to call anybody else basic.
Yep.
Other than that, another thing that I'd really love right now is is at least a 10-acre property with a 4-bay shop.
Oh, don't we all?
That'd be sweet.
Yes.
Even like a 2-bay shop. I mean, just all the space for activities.
I'll take the 4-bay, and one of them has to be a high bay, so you can drive in like a trailer and crack the rooftop tent open to air it out or dry it out or whatever.
Yep.
Definitely need the high bay. And then I had Ben on this one, and so kind of throwing it back to Aaron's comment about the Ripsaw not being amphibious. I went with an amphibious vehicle with the Sherp.
Yes.
So the Sherp is pretty dang awesome. It's got I closed my browser. It's got like 71-inch tires on it. Its turning radius is like 20 or 2.3 meters or something like that. God, where was it?
It is made in communist Russia too.
Sorry, 2.5 meter turning radius. Yeah, the 71-inch tires. It could only go 25 miles an hour on land, but I mean it's a Sherp, so you could just drive over. You could just take the straightest route, and that'll save you a bunch of time.
I like that. Take the straightest route. That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome if you haven't seen those things going and driving on like frozen lakes and crashing through and then just kind of floating along and crawling back up onto the ice. That they're really freaking awesome. It was interesting because one of the pictures kind of shows a plate that has all the air pressures.
Oh, I saw that. That's where is that? There we go. So I don't understand what the mmHg is. Is that
millimeters of mercury?
All right. So in some non-Eagle
metric pressure.
Oh, weird. Nobody likes those metric pressures. So snow is 25 to 50, sand 50 to 75, dirt 60 to 120, asphalt 75 to 150, and it says inflate tires no more than 200.
Yeah. So
are you doing a conversion?
No conversion.
Yeah. Just for reference, 25 millimeters of mercury is half a psi.
Nice.
So what'd you air down to? 0.5 psi.
So pretty much no air in the tires for swamp and snow. What's 50?
So 200 is 3.8 psi.
And 200 was the max.
Yeah.
So they want the air pressure to be between 0.5 and 3.8 psi.
Yes.
Well, I imagine with how big those tires are, that's really fine. I don't know why.
Well,
Yeah.
they probably have really thick sidewalls and
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing the videos of these when they announced them, and it's just like, wow. And then we're like, are they going to come to the States? Because it's originally a Russian company, correct?
I don't know if they're Russian or not. What I found is that they're owned by a company called Argo, and I don't know where Argo's from, but Argo, if you know about them, is the company that made like those 6-wheelers that float in the water, and they got like the tank steer handles on them, and you'd see them in like the back of the Popular Mechanics and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. Coy says it's weird that that's the same range of psi that Ben's head gasket can hold.
Ouch.
I want to know what happens if you like punch the sidewall of that. Like when it's aired down to 20 millimeters of mercury, like how soft is it for you to just like hit it with your fist?
probably not very.
Yeah, you have to film it in slow motion.
Oh, so Argo is out of New Hamburg, Ontario, Canada.
Oh
Hey.
yeah, Canadian. There you go. Not Russian, so you'll have to use your Canadian accent when we talk about them in the future, Ben.
How about that, eh?
Yeah. Okay. Well, this episode definitely ran long, but it's a lot of fun dreaming about the stuff you wish you could have and the stuff you wish you could afford to buy for your friends, like that Ford F750 for Jeremy. So we appreciate you guys sticking around and hanging out with us, and the great comments from our regular people and from people we've not seen in the comments before. We love seeing your comments. Appreciate you guys. If you ever want to join us live, check us out on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We Twitch a little bit, so we're in almost all the places. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you helping us grow by sharing us with your friends and family. God bless America.
Don't forget to visit Patriot Patch and join the Patch of the Month Club. Check out our Gaia affiliate link for up to 40% off. Also, don't forget to head over to Warren and Power Tank to see all of their great gear. We are a proud part of the Firearms Radio Network. Got a question or comment? Send it to us through our webpage at firearmsradio.tv or through our social media channels by searching for Offroad Podcast. Also, you can listen to us live at overlandradio.com, Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific. When off-road, please remember to have fun, tread lightly, be safe and courteous, and thanks for listening.
Man, I really got beat up.